Ladies and gentlemen, it's the last talk of GibTalks 2023. And we want to end this fantastic day with a positive message, a message that we hope you will take with you to your homes, to your places of work, etc., and keep on spreading the message. And here to give us our final talk this year, please give a warm welcome to Nuria Harjani.
Thanks, everyone, for sticking around this long. I promise to make it quick. So here goes. November the 8th, 2016, wasn't just the day that we found out Donald Trump had been elected as President of the United States. It was also the day that I got off my 9-hour flight in Mumbai Airport in India. I touched down and I breathed in that very familiar Indian air, and I felt nostalgic. But this was going to be a very different trip. I had quit my job and I embarked on an opportunity to become a volunteer at Teach for India. I'd been raising funds for a few months now, so I had an account full of money. I had some incredible ideas and the wind beneath my wings. 8 missed calls from Dad as soon as I switched on my phone. Dad, you are ruining my vibe. Then a text message, then multiple WhatsApps. They read, Nuria, there has been a demonetization in India. The country is shutting down. Get into your car and get to your accommodation ASAP. Demonetization. November the 8th, 2016 was also the day that Prime Minister Narendra Modi pulled 500 and 1,000 Indian rupee notes out of circulation and sent the country into turmoil. On the 4-hour drive to Pune, I could already see a difference. There was no honking, there was no sounds on the streets. India wasn't buzzing or vibrant. It was like there had been an apocalypse. To put it in perspective, from the moment that this shocking surprise announcement was made, these banknotes had 0 value. The 500 and 1,000 rupee notes are the equivalent of our 5 and 10 pound notes here. The demonetization meant that if you could account for your money and prove to the bank that this was yours, then of course the money would be transferred into your bank account. However, if you had no source of funds, your money was void, or worse, you would go to prison. So, what was I going to do in a country full of British pounds, in a country with an account full of British pound sterling, when they had just run out of currency? Life in India is a little bit chaotic anyway, but this was taking it to a whole new level. The country had stopped working. The lines outside the banks went on for days. People could not use their money. Shops, transport, and your everyday industries would not accept cash in what was a very cash-driven nation already. This was done to combat the shadow economy and to make all funds legal. This way, everyone's money was clean, and after declaring their cash to the banks. The days that followed saw raids, strikes, violence, and uproar in a country that I once found so charming. We didn't click, me and India. I had nothing to give. I barely spoke the language, and I could barely maneuver myself around a city that was basically in lockdown. My accommodation and my dinner were sorted, but I spent my first 5 days in India living off 400 rupees. That is £4. I haggled with the rickshaw tuk-tuk drivers like a regular local to take me to money bureaus. This fight or flight mode had me picking up the Hindi language far quicker than any of my relatives have ever tried to teach me. No exchange center wanted sterling. They needed all the rupees that they could get. New notes were scarce, of course, and the old money notes were considered a worthless piece of paper. Frustratingly, I couldn't get my own money changed, let alone the money of all the generous donors that I had gotten back home in Gibraltar. How was I supposed to complete all the goals that I had set myself out to do? I was literally stranded. It was pointless, and there was no other way for me to acquire the funds whilst I was here. I'm going to give up. I'm going to do everything I need to do back home from Gibraltar. It's okay, we can do things online. I'm going to get back home tonight. I'm going to call my parents. I'm going to book my flights back home. I give up. I replayed the night that I was packing my bags to come to India. I had been so excited for this opportunity. I was nervous, of course. I had no teaching background, but I knew that I had some knowledge on English and mathematics to give. And also, I had a trick up my sleeve. My added little bonus, some Bollywood dance lessons. I was listening to the songs that I was going to teach the kids, and my parents watched me pour over 200 clicker pens into my suitcase, a donation from a company that was rebranding themselves here in Gibraltar. Everyone told me I was crazy for carrying stationery to a country where you can get this so cheap. But now, as I sat next to this pile of pens in my room in India with nothing else to offer these kids or to buy them, I packed the pens up and I took them to school with me the next day. I felt absolutely ridiculous. Kids, for every correct answer you get in maths, you get your very own clicker pen. A pen. That's what it took to get the kids to want to learn their maths. Every time one of them got the answer right, they would clutch at this really simple clicker pen and act like it was their most prized possession. I got my smile back that day, but it was still masking some of the sadness. I knew that I was going to be leaving soon. After school finished that day, I made the most of it and savored my time with the kids and stayed behind as we practiced some Bollywood dance lessons. By far, the bit that they enjoyed the most. They would try and rush through all their homework and all the tasks that needed to be done just so that they could take part in these lessons with me. I watched the kids intently and they were so happy. Their vibes, their smiles, it just radiated this warmth that surrounded them, and it made me feel like I was in this bubble of purity and protection, hiding me from this big bad world that there was out there. Nuria Didi, a term that means older sister. Why are you so sad? I said, no, I'm not sad. I'm just a bit worried, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here thanks to this demonetization. Are you not worried? The kid looks up at me and smiles and says, no. My papa has been able to stay at home with us this whole time. All we've been doing is playing. Plus, my mom is in a much better mood. She's cooking us way more food, and a massive bag of cash was dropped off to the charity that runs our slums by an anonymous donor. We've all been given food to last us weeks. That reminds me, Mom says she wants you to come over for dinner. Please, will you come? It'll make everyone so happy. This child from the slums showed me exactly what a gleam of gratitude does. It rewires your way of thinking and it makes you bullseye on the positivity. They are at the center of all this chaos, and yet they have the resilient power to focus on positive. He looks at me and goes, hello, you going to teach us to dance or what? Monday, the 14th of November, 2 days later, this is a passage from the diary that I kept while I was in India. Monday the 14th, Superman Day. Ever believe in lucky underwear? I do. I woke up with a newfound positivity. I got 2 amazing rickshaw drivers, and it made me believe in this country again. School was amazing. 2 fun dance classes where the kids all listened intently. I was hungry today, but I managed to fill myself up on all the amazing rotis that the kids gave me. After school, the best thing happened. I changed money. It's crazy how a new day can bring so much change, but not only in the currency, but in my attitude and vibe. I managed to change money. It happened after school that day. The kids and I tried one very last time to go to this currency center that I had been to many times before. But something was different. Something had changed. The gentleman behind the counter was in a good mood. He was having a good day. It wasn't luck, nor was there a change in the money situation in the country. I don't know what it was, but I like to think that it was down to my gratitude. The days that followed were a dream come true. We managed to purchase whiteboards, laptops, projectors, books, board games, and even a speaker for our Bollywood dance lessons. And then we finally ordered the furniture for the school library. My experience at TFI is one that I can speak about for hours, but I'm going to fast forward a few years now when I took the plunge and started up my own business. What happened? COVID hit. Did I mention I had bad timing? No. Not only were we dealing with uncertainty and fear, but on a professional level, how was I supposed to launch a business development company when we could barely leave the house or meet people. What have I done? What have I done? Quick, apply for jobs. I'll have some security. I'll have insurance. What if I get ill? No one's going to hire me. What if my family gets sick? Stop. It's so easy to go down this rabbit hole of panic, fear, anxiety. And by the way, this is not me telling you, always be grateful. No, I certainly have my bad days too. You can't look at someone who's going through a bad time and say, be grateful. You have a roof over your head. You have hot food on your plate. That is toxic positivity. And everything in this world is relative to everyone. Not every day is going to be Superman Day. There will be bad and dark days. And many times you need to ride that wave out. Eat the chocolate. Binge on that series of Netflix. Or even stay in bed all day. Whatever it takes. But you have to know the sun does rise again, and this too shall pass. I learned this very small but very effective exercise. You have to grab your clicker pen and a piece of paper and note 3 things that you are grateful for that day. Expressing gratitude consistently can literally rewire your brain. Several studies have shown that regular gratitude practices will actually shift your brain's behavior to a more positive outlook. Start small. I had a full night's sleep. I managed to cook a meal. Or even my coffee tasted amazing this morning. And then keep going. I made it to a gym class. I heard from an old friend. Or I landed a new project at work. Slowly, you will start to notice a pattern. The events will get bigger and you will soon find more to be grateful for. My example. I'm grateful for starting my business during COVID because my website was nowhere near ready. So quick, change it before anyone else sees it. And 2 years down the line, I'm grateful for being most commended female entrepreneur of the year. It has been a roller coaster of a journey filled with highs and lows. But when in doubt, while sat at my desk, I look at my trusty clicker pen and it reminds me everything that I've got to be grateful for. Today isn't too late to start, and I'd love to help you. At the entrance, there's a small piece of paper on your way out and your very own pen. Write 3 things that you're grateful for today and keep going for as long as you can. In a journal, to a friend or to a partner, or even to yourself in the mirror, whatever works. It's the kind of gratitude attitude that will help you raise your altitude. Thank you.